Hello, everyone. It's Yogi here. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. You pick one. I hope all of you are doing well. And yes, we're back again today. So I hope you did well yesterday and recovering from our marathon session and no injuries was sustained or no furniture was damaged. And I'm doing well. I'm doing really well. I had some classes in the morning and one in the afternoon. Really enjoyed it. Really needed it. Moving the body and everything else. So today we're here to work on this beautiful piece. So I had no idea. The last time I worked on this piece with you, it was stream 30, I think 36. And we're live stream 62 today. My goodness, where has time gone? So it's time to give this piece some love. So this is pretty special. So this is a piece from Chiro, Machete, you pick one yourself, whatever combination you like, just like yoga. And this is a piece called the quilt room, the craft room. I should know by now. Yes, the old craft room. And look at this glory. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm starting this piece from upper left, working from that beautiful burgundy, deep red from the upper left, and moving forward to those cute little cushions over there and downward. Kind of diagonally, but not quite. So this piece I'll explain why I need to work on it in a slightly different way. And but I cannot wait to get to all the clothing and the yarn and everything else on the shelf. And also there's a little cat. Can you see that? Upper bottom right there. There's a sewing machine and there's a little cat sleeping there. Oh my goodness, I cannot wait. I wish I could start from the little kitty, but that would be breaking the rules all over the place. And so let me show you my progress right now. So you can see the little cushions picking out there. So this piece I am currently on. I hope you can see it. Let me place it down here. It's 2.91, so nearly 3% there. So can I break it? Can I cross over to 3% today? Who knows? Your guess is as good as mine. So, of course, I'm starting from 0 stitches today and moving forward. Let's take it from there. And I'll explain a little bit about my way of working on this piece. But before, we need to have a look at who's here on the chat today with us. Oh my goodness, Carla Hill is the first one. Round of applause for Carla, the first one to report to the Yogi stream. And Clover Stitchers here. Steve is here. Hello, Steve. And stitching in Oregon as well with Brandy. Hello. And let's look downwards. Zella Ring, hello, welcome to the chat. It's a new name, and maybe another lurker has finally changed his or her oh my, and come to have a chat with us. And River's here as well. Hello, River. And Serena is here as well. Welcome back. Oh, so great to see everybody. Everybody's good. Ashley as well. Hello, Ashley. And Heather House as well today. She says, happy Sunday. I can't believe it's a Sunday because it's a working day for me. So, so I'm always slightly surprised. Oh yeah, it's Sunday, isn't it? Welcome. And let's have a look here. Beautiful. And Gretty's here as well. And Wendy, of course. Good to see you all. So this piece, let me explain a little bit about this piece. So I'm working on 22 counts here. So slightly bigger than the fabric count, sort of well, a lower fabric count, but slightly bigger stitches I'm working on today. So it's maybe a nice reset from 28 counts from yesterday with a sweet shop. And if you haven't seen the marathon yesterday, oh, you have to have a look. And yes, there's some extreme stitching athletes here on the chat, on the stream, and we managed, 10 hours solidly. And so 22 counts here, even weave. And this is actually a full cross I'm doing here. So there's another piece I'm working on the same fabric count, the dry flowers. I'm working on, I'm working on, let me think, 10 stitches and with the dry flowers. But this one is full cross. So what does that mean? It means double the material and thread for each stitch. So you can see these stitches here, they're so full and so rich, and each stitch is like a little bead that I'm kind of planting on the fabric. It's absolutely beautiful. But because the stitches are so full, I have to work stitch from stitch. You probably notice there's very little, if at all, floating stitches from the edges, and I'm not particularly working in a jimmer stitches kind of method. I'm not doing diagonal or any particular way. I'm kind of going from top to bottom sensibly and making sure the stitches kind of attach to the stitch area. And the reason for that is I want to leave as much open space for each stitch when I'm stitching it, because I'm doing double strand and full cross here. So that's my strategy. At one point, I was almost thinking, well, it's kind of quite tricky to work with, particularly when it comes to more confetti area like the cushion here. But then I'm just looking at the result here. You can see how full the stitches are, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's a different kind of effect from doing 1/1 or 10 stitches. So I want to keep this going, and mindfully and slowly. I don't mind, I'm slow anyway, as I have proven many times to you if you don't believe it already. And you can see over here, I actually tried to do color completion, and instantly I just knew that it's not the best way to proceed with this piece. So with that, I'm going to stitch one stitch at a time clearly and move forward with this piece. Maybe I'll be able to cross over to 3%, who knows? I don't mind either way, and I'm just happy that you're here with me. So I am using 26 size 26 needles here for 2 strands, and I'm working with CXC, which is super full anyway. So, and I'm kind of thinking, where should I start? So I'm gonna just come around here first. This is a slightly less confetti area, and maybe from time to time I'll hop over to do a little bit more sort of slightly more challenging area. So this is my strategy here. Hey Needlebug, hello. I haven't seen you for ages. I hope everything's working well with the house moving and everything. And oh, let me pick my needles here. This is my first stitch today, obviously, after the vigorous session yesterday. So I might pick this one actually. So I'm doing stitch by stitch in no particular sort of order. I just start to ease away from the edges, and I'm parking as well, yes, as you can see. So this piece requires some extra. Let me move it over here and bring up my little markup here for you. Oh, so beautiful. And this piece requires a little bit of patience, and I have all the patience it needs, because I'm happy to slow way down. From yesterday's session, this is a reset piece. I always change my projects around so I get kind of a slightly reset by doing quite different types of projects. So it's always fresh, you know, it's always nice and fresh. So let me bring up my chart here so I know which color this is. This is my first stitch today, everyone. I'm warming up. So good. So this piece, I decided to do full cross. It was out of curiosity because I started with dry flowers, and I've got some leftover fabric here. So I thought, well, maybe I'm able to introduce another mini piece. And by the way, this is a mini anyway, just in case I haven't mentioned. So it's a mini. And as I was experimenting, 10 stitches, I've got some leftover fabric of 22 counts. And I thought, instead of doing a mini piece in 10 stitches, I want to see what it's like if I stitch full cross. And this is the result of that. And I absolutely love the fullness of the stitches here. See, if I stitch mindfully one by one, it's not bad at all. It's a little bit more challenging when it comes to this type of area, but it's workable, absolutely workable. So I am going to do this one down as well, because the stitch above is already stitched. I'm not doing floating stitches, not breaking my own rules here. And maybe I should. And this right here is quite short. So the idea is to create minimum build up underneath because the stitches are already so full. If I start to bring threads across everywhere, it's going to make it even more challenging to stitch. So I want to be super mindful here. Oh, Needlebug says, nice to see you guys. Take a break today from packing up house. What a job. I know moving house is so challenging and can be quite stressful as well. So many things to juggle. And River says, yes, he says on the tin. Yes, yes, absolutely. Manage the expectations here. By now you should know my mind-blowing speed here for my stitching. No surprises there. And the second one, this is so nice. It's like stitching, you know, like those really rich Persian rug. It feels like that. And if, you know, touching as well, because it's so full, so full. And I think this is kind of a special texture you can only get from CXC, because CXC is very kind of fluffy, quite fluffy. Let me have a look here. It's one stitch there. Joyce is here as well. Hello, Joyce. Good to see you. Let me make sure. Let me see whether I should take this stitch over there. Let's do that then. Why not? And let me know what you're working on and what you're drinking. Yes, I'm drinking a little bit of coffee. I know it's a little bit naughty, but just fancy some coffee. Let me take a sip actually. And normally by this time there'll be some leftover coffee, but this one is actually freshly brewed. Just fancy that. Oh, tastes so good. And I also have a cup of my usual peppermint tea as well. Can't do without peppermint tea. So I have both drinks with me. I'm all good. I'm all good. And let me know what you're working on as well. I really love to know. Oh, Rever's Love says, I'm finding the Rever's, oh yes, of course, name after Rever's. Rever's Knot is working very well for beginning and ending fill-in stitches. Oh yeah, needle park is like Rever's Knot. I know. It's all happening here. It's all happening here. Let me have a quick look here. Yes, it's a twist. It's a twist from loop starting and loop finishing. Let me just have a look here. Let me just remove that. Beautiful. And I'm doing my best to follow the order in terms of from left to right, but I'm not strict on that. So occasionally, I pick up the part thread from the right side, sometimes from the left. You know what it's like. I just pick the one who's kind of talking to me at that moment in time. Did I put this down incorrectly? Oh, already. I'm warming up, guys. I'm warming up. So, wrong corner. River says, I'm working on rustic farm stitch 88.99, so close to 89. Drinking a freshly brewed hot coffee. Very nice. Join the club of hot coffee club. Brittany says, oh, Brittany, hello. Oh, yes, it's Sunday, isn't it? I'm having coffee myself and stitching on Reader's Paradise Max. Oh, full of books. That cozy piece. And I still remember our conversation when we first chatted about it. So Brittany loves books. So there you go. Perfect piece. It's a totally stitching experience from the 28 count. 10 stitches yesterday. What a lovely reset. And I'm going to part this one over here. And a little cat here on top. Sarah's drinking Dr. Pepper and working on Monarch. Yes, lovely. Joy says, I think Karen knows and needs an update on Boomerang. Oh, yes. stitch of the year, I think. If there's an award, you will be awarded as the stitch of the year. Karen from Needlebug says, Joyce, you're correct. Reverse knot and boomerang equals cluelessness. It's all happening when you're moving house, Karen. River says, my next one will be on 22 counts. Fabric has been ordered and delivered. Do you know how many strands you're working on? And what stitches you're going to be working on? I'd be curious to know. I think for most people, when they look at 22, they probably go full cross, particularly with CXC will be too full. And it'd be interesting to see what someone else, someone else's take on this, in this combination. Let's have a look here. 1, 2, 3. Trying to see whether I should bring this one down. So that one is here. Maybe I will take it down here. And then one more stitch over here. Claire Thomas is here. Hello. And Grace is here as well. Welcome. Joyce is working on a stitch in time using Saga. Oh, have you got it working? You've got a pattern, have you? Beautiful. River, you're a star. You're making many stitches. Very happy. And I'm going to take it down here. I'm slightly improvising my stitch, kind of in terms of order. This is so satisfying. 2 strands, full cross. Heather says, tea no tart today. No butter tarts. Oh dear. What a shocker. What a shocker. No butter tarts. Oh, this coffee is so good. Suzanne says, I love working on 22 counts. Suzanne, so when you're working on 22 counts, do you do 10 stitches or 1 over 1? Let me know. Reva says, it will be 2 strands, tent with CXC. Ah, so like my dry flower. It's lovely. It's so full. The coverage is totally good on 22 with CXC. think I missed the corner with that one. Let me see if I can tease that out. Susan says nice coverage. 2 strands. Yes. Whoops. Tease that one out. Kind of went down the wrong corner there. Suzanne says, on my full coverage, I have it as 2 over 110 stitch. I have a Caroline Manning I'm working on. I'm doing that one. A 1 over 1 full cross, I see. Yes. It's quite interesting because 1 over 1, as Suzanne just said, can be, the coverage could be pretty decent on 22 counts. But yesterday, the piece I was working on, 28 counts, when I was doing test stitches with 1 over 1, I think it's probably personal preferences. It felt slightly thin for me. So it really depends on the design. For Amy Stewart's piece, I wanted that kind of richness, you know, fullness. And somehow the half stitches, the 10 stitches, provides that more than 1 over 1 for my eyes. So it's really interesting. You just never quite know until you actually try it and stitch it. Let me see, 2 stitches here. Might need to end. Whoops. See, I think the thread is starting to get a little bit pesky here. Maybe fraying a little bit, so I will end it after this second leg. It's kind of making it slightly harder to thread now. There you go. It doesn't like me. Oh, it's the needle. I think I broke it. First broken needle. That's why the threads keep sort of slipping off the needle. I was thinking, well, how come it's so difficult to thread? I've broken 1 needle. So officially today, first victim. Okay, condolences. Rest in peace. It hasn't happened before. It literally broken around the eye area there of the needle. Oh dear. That's why the threads slipping off the eye. Okay, so I'm going to tuck this away with a tuck in. I think this will be way too full to do a boomerang. It'll be too much to pack in a single stitch area. So tuck in is perfect. Frankie's here, welcome. Oh, Suzanne says, one of the ladies in my weaving group gave me 2 meters of hardanger 22 counts. How nice. How nice. Yes. Really nice. And I was looking to 32 counts fabric today. For some reason, I don't think DMC do anything above 28, because I quite like DMC fabrics. And I was looking up on Etsy anyway. Maybe they're sold somewhere else, but I couldn't find DMC doing anything higher than 28 counts. Is that correct? Have you seen anything from DMC? I'm kind of secretly considering whether I should venture into 32. Now watching Nikki stitching away like a crazy person without helmet, I'm slightly tempted. Slightly tempted. Oops. One stitch here. So far so good. I'm loving it. Rose is here as well. Hello, Rose. She says, I'm late for the party, but finally made it. Hello, everyone. Never too late for a great party. Welcome. Susan says, Yogi's too strong. Hoops. Hoops. Yes, I break hoops as well. You're quite right. I break hoops. I break needles. Yes, nothing is safe. Oh, dear. Exactly. I break everything. Leave a trail of destruction as I stitch very slowly. Okay? That's how I roll here. Work with me here, guys. Oh, and yesterday we were talking about a live chat replay, haven't we? And you guys say you couldn't find chats. You know what? It's there. So can I assume that those of you who said you couldn't find chats, you were looking at the chat replay on a mobile device, correct? If that's the case, you can try again right now. If you load up any of the previous live streams, where you look down below the screen where you see the comments, do a side swipe, literally side swipe. I don't know why YouTube is trying to hide the live replay. If you look at where it says comments, do a side swipe to the left, you get the live chat. I know. No one will ever know unless you do a little bit of research. I only remember yesterday because I vividly remember there were live chat, but I had to look up on how to find it on the damn mobile devices. I don't know why they do it this way. Brittany says, I use Zweigart fabric for my 32 counts, but I've never used DMC fabric, probably because it doesn't exist for some reason. I did see the Zweigart, is that how it's pronounced? 32 counts. But I was looking at DMC because DMC 28 count is so lovely to stitch. And so, Oh, Suzanne says, Yoki, that's what I was saying yesterday regarding the live chat. Oh, sorry, I didn't get that. I thought you were talking about, I vaguely remember what everybody's saying. I thought you were talking about TV. Oh, I know. Why do they hide it? Why are they trying to hide it? No one can ever find it if you're not told. And I literally had to look up a YouTube video for YouTube replay. chat. I don't know. They're weird like that. Sometimes they make quote unquote improvement. It's actually going backwards. Why can't they just say, hey, chat replay right here? They don't want to make it easy. Who knows why? YouTube, you need to explain yourself. So the chat replay is there, absolutely. Oh, I'm loving this. I'm loving this. It's a stitching velvet. Yes, I'm going to park it down here. And it is a little bit more challenging, I wouldn't lie to you, if when it comes to more confetti area. So, you know, some sort of one stitch parking might be required with those areas, but it's the same with all confetti, isn't it? It's just one stitch at a time. You come up with a strategy. So now I'm going to venture into this slightly more confetti area and do a few stitches here, and then come back to more sort of friendly area. That's my strategy. So divide and conquer, divide and conquer. Vaduhi, hello, you're never too late. Yes, of course, if you come here and report as the first person, you get a special medal. But otherwise, you know, it's all good, all good. Joy says, I'm not doing 32 count, but I always use Zweigert. They have 32 count. It's called, yes, it's a Murano. I did see that one. But you know, I was just looking at a picture. Maybe the picture is not the best representation. I was looking at the texture because what I love about DMC 28 count is how open those holes are, how big those holes are, and it makes, you know, stitching really pleasurable. But I was looking at the texture of the 32 counts from Zweigart. They look very close together, more like this, more like this. And I'll have to think about if I do start to venture into 32 counts. Not saying I will anytime soon. But if I do that, whether I should be doing full cross or 10 stitches. Decisions. So here, let me pick up. Oh, yes, there are 2 stitches here I want to do first. Oh, these cushions are so pretty. So pretty. Loving this piece. Rose says, yep, I found a live chat by swiping left. That's crazy. They will hide it. I know. It's almost like they don't want you to look at it. So much so that there are actually just messages everywhere on Google, people trying to find it. They sent out a search party and still can't find it. Not in the normal way. So that's a relief. The chat is there, being preserved. 340. So I'm going to introduce a new thread. 340. And it is a beautiful purpley color here. There you go. Carla says, yes, we need a live demonstration of boomerang and reverse knot yogi. Yeah, we can do one. We can do one, always. So that can be done. Let's see. Let me just find these 2 stitches first. It will be a live demonstration. And even though this is a mini version, but there's so much detail being preserved. And this is what I was talking about the other day, because someone asked, whether one should pick the mini version or regular or whatever else. It really depends on the pattern. I think mini works really well for some patterns, but maybe not so well for others. And the reason this one is working well is because if I bring up the full markup here, so mini, Heaven and Earth mini is about 9 pages big. And there are different types, different design and patterns and details, etc. It's going to work well when everything's pretty large within the real estate. So the size of the mini doesn't change, but the subject matters and, the objects, whatever else, the details within that area can vary very much. So this one, you can see everything's nice and big proportionally to the space. And same thing with the other piece, the old kitchen, for instance. Everything's quite large in there. Let me see if we can bring up that one as well. Just do a comparison. So this would be, I think, will be a pretty nice guide to decide whether you want to, like this one as well. Everything's nice and big proportionally. So this will be a very good candidate for mini. And in fact, I have seen someone completed this piece. It's gorgeous. I had no idea it was mini because everything is so large within the space. But then, if you look at something, I'm trying to pick an example here. The other day, I think, yes, it was the other piece, the quilt room, for instance. I used that as an example. Let me see. Oh yeah, the cake shop. Let me bring up the cake shop here as an example. If you look at this piece, there's so much going on, and there are a lot of small objects on this piece. And I actually saw someone, so I'm working on regular size and max colors. I saw someone finish this piece in mini. It didn't look, it was still pretty, but a lot of details are lost because there's so many smaller objects here in the design. So I think in this case, this is not a great candidate for mini. So I hope you know what I'm trying to illustrate here. So that's the kind of judgment call you have to make. But I always say, whichever way, you probably end up with a really nice looking end product. But if you really want details, then, I think regular size would be a good option. And if you want more, then max colors will be even better option, I think. It really depends on the design. So I don't think there's one rule fits all. So I hope that makes sense. So I'm going to tuck this one in here. So this piece is, perfect as a mini. Joy says, good to know about the chat. Better mind what I'm saying because it's there forever. I know. Everything that you put on internet is there forever. Good or bad, you decide. Let's have a look. let me see. I think I can pick up this one here. See you later, Karen. Enjoy your day. Thanks for dropping by. See, this is the John James 26 count, 26 count, 20 size 26 needles. For some reason, they're slightly harder to thread comparing to DMC, which is what I normally buy. I think the eyes are just a little bit more narrow, which is interesting. Two, one over here. I just tuck this one under. Hey, it's Lita is here in the chat. Welcome. Grace says, well, I'm swiping left and nothing happens with the comments. You should be able to find it. So if you look below the videos where it says comments normally, you just swipe left and you should see there's an option to open chat. You still need to open it so it doesn't open the chat panel for you automatically. They try to make it very difficult. What are they trying to hide there? I wonder. 317. 317. Let's grab it. Joy says, I saw Amy stitch the mini winter reading nook. It looks so pretty. So I like that mini. I'm having second thought about it. Oh, yeah, well, I think ultimately, Amy is in the lady from the channel, I think. It really depends. It really depends. And I don't know what count or fabric or what stitches she's doing it on. But yeah, but that's kind of how I sort of make my judgment calls in terms of, you know, what size I want to go for. It could vary. Depending on the fabric count, perhaps, and the stitches. But I think what I saw of the little cake shop that looked fuzzy. It was 1/1, 25 counts, quite a sort of normal, you know, combination. It just looked fuzzy. And with a piece like that, you really want, you know, details. You want to see the cupcakes rather than kind of blob or pink colors. It was still pretty. It's just that I just felt like I want more. I want more with that piece. Brittany says, I've also been interested in the winter reading Nook. Love the colors. I know, and it's so Christmassy as well. It would be a lovely piece. You know, now we're in the second part of the year. And so it's kind of slightly Christmassy, but not full on. You know, it's not like Santa Claus, that kind of stuff. It's probably a little bit too much for me, but it's very subtle. It's got a very subtle kind of Christmas theme to it, and I love that. You know, the reindeers, the snowy cabin outside, so whimsical, and the cats. Oh my God, the cats. It's a beautiful piece. Stitchy Pfeiffer is in the chat. Welcome. River's back. Welcome back. River says, had a smaller plate than usual and still had to put half of it away for tomorrow. Oh yes, River, you're on low carb, aren't you? So yeah, I think your appetite is greatly reduced when you're eating low carb. It's just the way it is. That's good. And I'm going to thread it over here. Need to find my lines here. Oh, I need to draw a few lines there. 1, 2. Yeah. Let me get my pencil out. It's been a little while, so the line's getting a little bit fadey. Whoops. Oh, Suzanne, well done. Suzanne says, I did a screen record of the YouTube app and how to find chat in a previous live. I know, it's so crazy. The people, it's a feature that a lot of people use when they watch replay live streams and they try to hide it. I don't know what they're trying to do, YouTube. So much that the Suzanne has to do a demonstration. But she's posted it on our group there. Well done. Well done, Suzanne. Let me take a sip of my... let's go for coffee then. In Stitches with Ebony. Hi, Yogi and everyone. Finally managed to join and love after watching replays for a while. My name is Ebony. And have I pronounced it correctly? It's Ebony, right? I'm currently addicted to yogi streams. Oh, well done, girl. Welcome. Come and join us. It's fun. It's cozy. We're just stitching and chat. That's it. We're not doing anything, unusual here. We talk about things that's very unusual for people who don't stitch. Like boomerang and stuff. Here we go. Just one stitch here, and I'm going to end this thread here. What a beautiful combination for this cushion. Well, everybody's knowing everybody. So Ebony's it's a floss tuber as well. Is that correct? What's your channel name? We've got many floss tubers in the chat from all over the world. Nice 3-1. Nice 3-1. Let me pop it back. Nice 3-1. Trying to find a DMC needle. It's just easier to work with. Oh, Albany says, I've heard all of your shenanigans. Demented typewriter. Well done, well done. You've done your homework. Rajal is here as well. Hello, Rajal. Welcome back. And Albany says, my channel is Stitches with Albany. Oh, I'll definitely check it out. Welcome, welcome. I know. Stitchy Fiver says, floss tubers are taking over your chat, Yogi. I know. How wonderful. How wonderful. Yes. Absolutely amazing. I mean, it's always lovely to discover new floss tubers, for me anyway, because even though I have, when I was sort of looking in the whole genre of stitching, I came across quite a few amazing floss tubers, but there's so many more, and it's wonderful. Let me see. 2 over here. Where am I? Where am I exactly? Oh, here. Here we go. I know where I am. Caroline says, hi Yogi, finally made it. Love Albany's channel as well. Amazing. How amazing. I think this is the right one. Lap over there. Yes. For some reason, the threads just look much darker than the chart. So I have to double check. Stitching in Oregon with Brandy says, I don't know if I ever mentioned that. I have a channel as well. Oh, I didn't know that. Brandy has got a channel. I post about once a month. Yes, go check it out. Is that the same handle as your YouTube? I presume it is. We're on YouTube, so yes, please check out Brandy's channel. How wonderful. And one under here. And there's one more. Let me double check. Why does it look different? Two down here. Carla Hill says, that's funny. I was thinking if I made a channel, I'd call it Carla in Stitches. If I'm not knitting, I'm stitching. Yes, Carla's in Stitches. Why does it look different? I'm getting slightly worried now. Okay, oh, okay. This is here. Let me see, 2 stitches, and that's one, double checking. Yes. Now I know where I am. I know, Carla, we need to make a list of all the channels that we discovered. Oops. And Albany says, what method are you using? Row by row? Kind of in principle, but not in that stitching order. So I'm basically, because the stitches are so full, this is 22 count, full cross. So I'm trying to kind of pick and choose wherever on this edge, and then stitch one stitch at a time away from the area, if that makes sense. So you probably notice the very close to none floating stitches. I did try to float away from here, but instantly I felt that once I get into the boxed in area, it started to get very tight. So because the stitch is so full, which is my intention to stay to keep the fullness, but I do need to stitch it in a slightly different way in order to you know, avoid the tightness, having really, stitches that's crowded by other stitches. So that's one. So in principle, kind of row by row, but not quite, if that makes sense. So it's a bastardized row by row. Rose says, it's beautiful to see no competition, only love and support for each other's channel. Well, I know, I think, when it comes to floss tubing, competition just doesn't come into it, because it's not like you have to watch one and not the other. And also, people do this type of channels for love. I don't think it's something that people do for their own benefit or anything like that. They just want to share what they're doing, and that's it. So, it's not like business or anything that you have to, overtake someone else. So that concept, I just don't think exists in this genre. It's not like TV channels, you can only watch one at a time. People watch, just have more options, and you're able to watch whatever you want, whenever you want. It's beautiful. And Rose says Albany has some fantastic finishes. Oh, she shows in the recent videos. My God, you finish your pieces. That is so refreshing. we need, we need a little bit of that to give people hope they can be done. If they just watch me, they might think it's impossible goal. But then we have a lot of, people in the chat. They a lot of viewers. They finish work, so it can happen. It is true. You don't believe it until you see it. It does happen. So I'm kind of just pick and choose where I want to go. Whichever area kind of looks inviting, then I just go there and do a few stitches. So I don't have a name for this method, so maybe Joyce Joyce can come up with a name. Ah, dear. You can always rely on Joyce when it comes to naming things. There, I'm going to end this one. It's getting a little bit short here. Albany says, I might try that. I started a project 1/1 tent on 40 counts, and I don't like leaving floating stitches because I'm getting lost. Yeah, I think it really depends on the pieces. I always, from my sort of brief time stitching here, under 4 years, I do find that when there's no one method works for all projects, and that's the beauty of it, because I think each project is kind of speaking to you and telling you how it wants to be stitched, and you need to listen to that message. I know some stitchers, they use the same method for everything and they love it, and that's lovely. But for me, it's almost like they're trying to talk to you and go, well, I want to be stitched in this fabric count, and I want to be stitched in this way. So I'm a whip whisperer, and I'm also a height pusher. Okay, so that's my role in the stitching world. I try to get people to buy height patterns, and I talked to my project. There you go. There you go. Hello, Travis is here. Nuki, is it how it's pronounced? But it's Travis. We know it's Travis. It's one of our gentlemen stitcher we just got to know yesterday. Welcome back. So we have two gentlemen stitchers. We have Steve, we have Travis. And I'm going to just park here. Albany says, I will post a picture in the Facebook group of the first 100 stitch block. Yes, please. I've managed to get 1,500 stitches on it, but now it's tiny. Oh yeah, 40 counts, of course. Now, who's that? Nikki. Nikki's gonna get competitive. Nikki's gonna go, yeah, well, you know, maybe next time I'm gonna do. Oh no, Brittany as well. Brittany was talking about doing 52 counts. Now the competition is on, guys. Who can do the tiniest stitch ever on a piece? Is there such a thing as 80 counts? I'll give it a go. I'll go blind afterwards, but it's worth it, right? We're breaking records here. We're breaking records here. 920. 920. You know, you want to do stitches to the point that you can no longer see what's on the fabric. That's the nirvana that we're trying to reach here. To a point you just see a piece of fabric, but you don't know what's going on the fabric. You've done it. Carla says, if you listen closely, you can hear the stitches talking. Yogi made me do it. Yes, I know. The whisper in your ears. Go get another pattern. You know, you can start a new whip. No problem at all. You can do it. You can do it. Nikki, they're talking about devil. Devil appears. Nikki, you won't? But you're on 32 count anyway. It's not that far off. Just a few stitches more. Are you saying you can't do it? Huh? I thought you never say no to challenges. Now here's the challenge. One over here. Oh, Travis. He says, I took my son and my nephew swimming, so now I'm stitching to cool off in this heat. Wow, so you're at the swimming pool stitching? That's a new one. Yes. How nice. Stitching by the swimming pool while watching the nephew swimming. That sounds lovely. Brandy says, I have 50 count projects, but not full coverage. They're also usually 1/2. Yeah, I suppose some people use higher fabric count, but do 1/2. So you have, if it's partially covered, you get that beautiful, you know, you can actually see the fabric underneath it. That's quite nice. Let me see, where am I? Why is this one part here? Let me have a look. So I know what's happening. This one is part incorrectly. This one. One stitch off. The colors are so close, but they are different. There. Travis says, we were at my fiance's grandparents' house. Now we're home. Don't want to take to cross stitch near the pool. Oh, didn't want to take cross stitch near the pool. If the fabric got wet, the symbols would bleed. True, true. Can you imagine? Yeah, because Travis is working on a piece that's pre-stamped. So you definitely don't want to get wet because you basically lose the patterns underneath. Oh, that's quite true. Yes, definitely. No wetness. You can't wash it. Do not wash your stamped kits. You'll be all over. 921, 921. Let's have a look. 921. It's beautiful orange here. Well, I think so going up from 32 counts, I think there's 38 count as well before you get to 40 counts. I have no idea how the progression of the stitch counts is. I've heard someone mentioning 38 counts. Sarah has posted, oh, completed. Okay. 2 completed long dog samplers to the group. If it's completion, we have to have a look together. Hang on a mo. Let me do this stitch and we can have a Sarah's complete work appreciation party. Hang on. Let me do these 2 stitches. We love completions. It's a distant dream of mine. Maybe at some point. Maybe further than distant dream. It's fantasy. Fantasy. Let me finish this one. And we can have a quick look. There. Right. Let's get it ready there. Hang on. Forgot to bring that one on. Let me just quickly set it up here. We are professionals. Let me bring the browser in. Load up our group over here. Let me have a look. How wonderful. We have 138 members now. We've only been around for a month. So let me just quickly post our link as well, the link to our group. And you're welcome to join us. And then we'll have a look. We'll have a look at the Facebook. Let me bring that up. There. Right, so tell me where it is. Is it this one? Oh my goodness. It is completed. Let's have a look. Wow, look at that. How long did it take you, Sarah? That's beautiful. And there are only three colors. My goodness. Look at that. Round of applause for Sarah. Yay. Trophies, medals, pizza. Okay, just anything you like. Chocolate biscuits. That is beautiful. That is beautiful. Amazing. A lot of details there. And what fabric count? Oh, 18 counts, of course. 1/1, 18 counts. That's very, very pretty. Very pretty, guys. Beautiful. Well done, Sarah. 13 months. Wow. Yes, it's gorgeous. It's gorgeous. I think a lot of precision, because I think for full coverage, sometimes you stitch, you know, incorrect locations here and there. You can get away with it, but samplers like this, you just can't. It just has to be so precise. It's beautiful. Yay. Gorgeous, gorgeous. Thank you, Sarah, for sharing that. Let's, while we're here, why don't we have a little looky here? Albany, yes, of course. Here we go. So this is 40 counts. Let's have a look. Let's have a look at the pattern. Wow, look at that. Really surreal. And there's a little house here in the distance. It's hard to tell when you have a close-up shot of the stitches without comparison. you know, if you told me this was 22 counts, I would have believed that. But this is tiny, tiny, isn't it? This is 50 counts. 50 counts right here. Wow. And there's no floating stitches, so you are not doing cross country. And you're not particularly doing block by block. So you're following the pattern from the look of it. You're following the pattern, the colors, kind of color flow type of method. That's beautiful. Thank you for sharing that. Oh, now we can tell. Okay, I was just talking. Let's have a look. So this is the close up there. It looks, yeah, regular. You can't tell how small the stitches are. And now you can. Wow. That is tiny, tiny. And the fabric is quite sort of, all the threads are very close together. Yes, that is, wow. I think for my eyes, when I look at the fabric, it looks almost like the lines are diagonal rather than vertical. I think my eyes are playing tricks on me. Because normally you see the horizontal and the vertical lines crossing each other. But this, for my eyes, it looks almost diagonal. I think I'll probably have trouble reading the fabric. That's amazing. Thank you for that, opening. Let's have a look. Oh yes, this is. Why don't we watch that? So those still a little bit confused by how to find chat. So you can swipe. You know, this is where the comment is, and then you just swipe. Yes, from the comments. You can swipe left to right to go from the comments and the chat as well. I know they make it so cryptic. It's almost like a puzzle you have to solve. And now we found a solution for the puzzle. It's so silly. Brandy, hello. Wow, Brandy's work here. Let's have a look. That's very pretty. Very pretty. That's so whimsical as well, the sunflower and everything. That's very pretty. Thank you. Thank you, Brandy, for sharing that. I saw this piece for Jen's new start. This looks so gorgeous, isn't it? This is for Wednesday Sew, for Kim Jacobs pieces. I've seen this mock-up before, but just not so closely. It's so beautiful. It's got so much going on. Oh, this is just so beautiful. Very exciting there. And roses. I think this one is, oh yeah, modern folk embroidery. I think Steve is doing a lot of pieces from them as well. Yes, very beautiful. Thank you, guys. Oh, so inspiring to watch what everybody's working on. And there's so many, it's quite diverse, isn't it? Sort of different styles, different ways of stitching. There's so much more to explore. Thank you, everyone. That's a great thing about groups like this. It's like, you know, just when you think you're kind of in this little world of your own, and doing the type of stitching you like, and then you look out and see what everyone is doing, and you think, well, maybe I can try that as well. Yes, more stitching to do. Let me have a look. I know. Sarah, well done. Really well done. So back to this color, 921. Beautiful orange here. I like back stitching. It's just adding so much detail. I know some people don't enjoy that, but I personally love it. And when I was doing a lot of DMC, not DMC, the Go Dimensions kits, pretty much all of their pieces I worked on back stitching of some kind. And I suppose it's quite appropriate because their patterns tend to be, you don't really get confetti, because when it comes to confetti, it creates a lot of gradations of colors and a lot of details. And the way their charts are charted can really be benefited with back stitching, you know, to bring in more details. And I don't think Heaven and Earth Designs needs that, because there's so much detail just with the color combination already. And Leslie, welcome to the chat. Now, I think I'm going to move below this area here. Oh, actually, I'm going to do these ones, the orange ones, first. Maybe the one on the left here. A little bit closer. It's a totally different stitching experience from yesterday. And I'm going to part this one down here. Stitchifiver 99. Struggling to keep the eyes open. Yes, it's kind of late in the UK. Have sweet dreams. So with this one, I think I am going to take it and park it down. Or should I? No, it's too far away. I don't want to build too much bulk unnecessarily. So I'm going to end it right here. Because normally I'll probably park down here. It's not that far away, but it's just how full, just thinking about how full these stitches are. I'm trying to minimize the build-up from underneath. That's my strategy. 9:20. Susan says, how many stitches are there on Sweet Shop? A lot. I can have a quick look on the PDF there. It's 700 by 506. So total stitch count, I can have a look. 354,000, something like that, and 200, yes. So I think it's quite typical number for a regular piece, something like that. I mean, numbers escape me anyway, so something like that. Travis says it's amazing how we can all be stitching at the same time, yet in different times around the world. I know. It's crazy. It's like yesterday when we did a marathon, and just throughout the 10 hours we're online here, we come across people from, you know, the late night, midnight in Australia, for instance, when we started, or close to midnight, and then moving forward, the people just waking up, you know, going to sleep in Japan, and then waking up, we're still online. So there you go, the magic of time zones. So I'm gonna do some of these darker colors. 3371. 3371. Oh, it's actually a brown. The swatch makes it look like black, so it's actually dark brown. Nikki says, I was able to do over 4K? What? 4,000, my darling? Are you sure it's not a typo? You don't mean like 4 stitches? You managed 4 stitches? No, 4,000 stitches yesterday on Sweet Shop. Now I have 11K done. Nikki, are you wearing a helmet? Jeez, 4,000. Hang on, let me check. Let me check my count. Oh, I'm too scared. I'm too scared. Just yesterday. So you 11K? Shall I tell you how many K I've got? If you're interested. Maybe you're not. You'll be just laughing your head off. My goodness. I've got the grand total. So Nikki's got 11K, right? I've got the grand total of 252 stitches. Yeah. Round of applause for me. My goodness, Nikki. Oh, stitch safely, Nikki. I'm worried about you. And are you still on color black, or have you moved on to different colors? My goodness, 11K, I ask you. Ah, yes, round of applause for Nikki. But don't encourage her, you know, she's gonna do like 20K by tomorrow. We don't want that. And she's doing studio as well by Kim as well. How do you do it? How do you do it? And I was stitching for 10 hours live yesterday, and I end up with just over 600. And I was exhausted. Oh my goodness. And Nikki did 4K. Okay? Just a little bit of comparison there. Nikki says, I'm on black. I posted the front and the back in Facebook. Beautiful. I'll have a look. I'm too scared, but I'll have a look. Yes, Serena, exactly. That is just not a normal number to be able to be stitched in a day. Sarah, you're competitive. What's your number yesterday? Joyce says, if you stitch faster, you burn the threads. Yes, exactly. Stitch safely, Nikki. You know, wear like fireproof outfits, you know. Like those guys in fire brigade. Just make sure you're safe. It bursts into flames sometimes, you know. Happens when you're stitching too fast. Serena says, I have 442 stitches, all confetti. Oh, of course, of course. Otherwise, it would be double, wouldn't it? I was hammered earlier in the marathon. I was as well. And I slept so well, like a baby last night. It was nice. I was waking up really refreshed. Here we go. And Sarah's 1,500. Sarah, are you slowing down now? Look at Nikki. Nikki's like 4,000, okay? Sarah, you just have to stitch faster. Or you're going to end up like a slow stitcher like me, you know? Sarah's she's like stitching 8 hours a day. So yesterday was a walk in the park. It was just a regular day, you know. Marathon, what marathon? I do that every day. Yes, Serena, I know. After a 10-hour marathon, I think we all probably all slept quite well. Sarah says, Sarah's getting competitive. She says, I guess I'll have to try ECC in one color. There you go. That's the spirit. That's the spirit. And if you don't know the lingo, ECC is extreme cross country. Okay? Learn the lingo. I don't do extreme anything. I don't even cross country. I cross the village sometimes and fall over sometimes. Even just crossing the village. So there you go. You do you. One, two, 1, 2, 3, 4. Here we go. Park. Oh, this is emerging this beautiful little thing. I don't know what that is, but it's looking nice. Rose says had lots of fun with yesterday's marathon and even lovely yoga breaks. I know. You know, it's lovely to have a little bit of yoga in between, right? So, Nikki, do you think with extreme cross country with one color, because you could do sort of ECC, uh, listen to me, extreme cross country with multiple colors, right? You don't necessarily need to because you can travel very far. Depends on your the length of your thread. Because what you're doing is color completion pretty much within a chosen area. I'm just thinking, does it make confetti easier? Or do you think it's because I love to see your back eventually, the back of the project, because eventually if you create a lot of stitch area and then you switch color and then you switch the colors got lower stitch counts, you're probably going to build up a lot of floating thread at the back. I don't know what your strategy is in terms of I don't know whether you mind, because some people don't mind having floating threads, but Serena says, my friend told me today I was nuts. 10 hours of stitching. Are you mad? Yes, it was probably mad. But we did it. We did it. We know it's possible and it was fun. So you should get your friends to join us. They will know what it's about. Because sometimes when I stitch for like 3 hours, I do this 3 hours, 3.5 hours every day with you, but it just doesn't feel like it. I always felt like, oh, I've just warmed up, but then it's 3 hours. It's crazy when you're stitching. Time just flies. And yesterday, yes, I'm aware it was 10 hours, but it really doesn't feel like it. Susan, you're probably right there. We're all mad. It's the mad people get together, do mad things. It's totally normal, totally normal. So let me come to the other side. It's over here, and maybe do a few more over here. Let me have a look. Maybe it'll come up here instead. And do a few stitches around here. It's getting quite busy over here, like a party. Let's have a look. Why not? So just one stitch, just one stitch. Serena says, indeed, no one of my friends do cross stitching. They say they don't have the patience. Yeah, it's not something that, you know, commonly mentioned. I mean, there are probably more people doing stitching, not stitching, the knitting, crocheting is probably more known. But even with stitching, some people might be doing sort of embroidery type of thing, or samplers. You know, cross stitching for me prior to discovering this rabbit hole, I thought cross stitching is like doing stitching kits, you know, samplers, that kind of stuff. But this type of stitching is pretty, I don't know how niche it is, because considering, you know, there's quite a big community here worldwide, but at the same time, it's not sort of commonly known. Even for someone like me, I've been sort of doing crafts and some type of stitching all my life, but I didn't know until just a few years ago, 3-4 years ago. So I can imagine the majority of people probably have no clue, you know, this type of stitchings exist. Susan says, I live on my own. It was nice to have company. Yeah, and also, even if you live with someone else, if the other person doesn't share the same interest, you can feel like you're the odd one out, the only stitcher in the village. But indeed, here's the worldwide village here. And that's the beauty of floss tubing. I'm going to do the one on the left here. No, I'm going to park down here. Very intricate area here. It's so beautiful. Let me take a sip of my tea here. Peppermint tea. see, where am I? Here. So this one is just one stitch, and I'm going to end it. Let me just move this out of the way. Just one stitch. Travis says, I would love to get an animal bookshelf by Amy Stewart. Don't know if I spelled her name correctly. It's A-M-E-E. We know who it is. And it says, but my fiance said I can't get another project until the Pokemon one is done. Oh, no. No. Get your fiance to come on the stream and explain to us. She cannot impose that kind of restriction on a stitcher. Okay, Travis, we move freely, you know. We can have as many webs as we want. And also the Amy Stewart piece will be very different from the one that you're stitching right now, because currently you're doing stamp stitching, and the Amy Stewart piece will be totally different stitching experience. And Amy Stewart is the lady, you know, when it comes to cozy stitching. So she cannot possibly deprive you from having that enjoyment. And also your current piece will probably take another 3 years to finish. Why wait when you can have both, right? Go for it. And bring your fiance here on the stream. I'll explain to her slowly, okay? I'll do that for you, Travis. Yeah, Sarah, well said. Sarah says, only one at a time? What? She doesn't know stitches. Exactly. And definitely know these stitches in the chat here. And crossed up with Siobhan says, Noki, my husband is kind of like that. I have to finish one at a time or he will not be happy. What? Why would they have any say about what you do with your stitching? Seriously. That has to be changed. That has to change. I'm breaking up marriages here. I'm breaking up relationships here. Live on Yogi Stream, okay? This is what I do. I break things. I break needles, hoops, rules, and I break marriages, okay? The last one of this color in this area. $3064.
3064.
Stitching. Brandy says, Travis, I have over 60 projects on the go. Like full coverage. There you go, Travis. That's how we roll here, okay? And we're happy. We're happy. Because Travis, you know, I'm sure you appreciate it. It's like each piece that you stitch, you're entering that world, don't you? When you're stitching Pokemon, you were amongst those Pokemons. And it's so playful and happy, but occasionally you want to go to a different world and experience different things. And they're available for you. You know, they're not lined up. You can only do one after the other. You can have all of them and enjoy different worlds at different times. Depends on the moods all the time. Why not do so? Why do you want to deprive yourself from all the enjoyments of having the options, right? It's like food. You know, I equate stitching to food. It doesn't matter how much you love a particular kind of food. You don't want to eat it the same food every day, right? You want to switch around and be adventurous one day and maybe, you know, play safe the other day. That's the beauty of stitching as well. Different day, different food, different web. Happy days. Tia's laughing. Oh, that's a lady's name. Tia, come over to me, to Yogi. Let's have a chat. We need a word, okay? Serena says, my husband has nothing to say about my cross-stitching as I have nothing to say about his motorcycle. Exactly. You give each other space to be free in their hobbies. I mean, there's so many things that we need to kind of negotiate and compromise with each other daily basis. You know, let people go to enjoy their hobbies however they want to, as long as it's not creating problems, you know, for the other person. It should be no problem at all. It should be encouraged. So Tia should tell Travis to get as many whips as he can get. So he's happy. I'm sure Tia wants his fiance really, really happy. And so they can have a happy life together. That's how it works. There. Why does it look different over here? Let me do a few more stitches over here then to even things out. Oh, Joyce, very nice. Monogamous equals monotonous. Yes, it's boring, right? So everybody gets it. Everybody gets it. Good, good, good. Sarah says we've got 10. And Joyce, you need to work harder. There's only 2. But then you finish your work. So that's, you know, I suppose that's what you get when you're a little bit more single-minded. It's a balance, isn't it? Nikki's face. I know 2 is like what? 2 is like 1, really. It doesn't count. So Nikki, how you got 4? Is that it? Really? I would have thought you've got more. Choice 2. 2 drawers. You need to order them because you might get confused. The 2 of them, you know, you don't know which is which. Steve says, wow, Joyce, even I have 4. Steve has 4. I know. Shocking, isn't it? Absolutely shocking. And if I didn't intervene, she probably has 1, you know? Just think of that. Or maybe 0 right now because Joyce has got dry flowers for the Kim Seoul and a sweet shop for the Amy Seoul. So technically, she would have ended up with 0 at this moment because she finished that bedtime story. Oh, we're here to rescue. Joyce, what do you do without us? You would have ended up with 0 project. I ask you. Sarah says I only worked on 3 in July, but you've got more, right? And Travis says I also have 40. Oh, you mean 40 320 piece puzzle that has come to a whole since I started stitching last year. Do you mean 40 puzzle kits or 40,320? I don't know, there's a gap in between. Oh, I see. Nikki says I stopped counting at 4. Oh yeah, because you can't count beyond 4. I see. That's a problem there. I can count about 10, just incorrectly most of the time. I do my best. And let's see, where are we here? Let's pick up this little one here. Just 1 stitch. 1 stitch. Oh, 40,320 pieces per puzzle. My God, I didn't know they go that high in number. So imagine if they're stitches, that would be, I don't know how big a piece would be. That's a lot of pieces, Travis. And also the problem with jigsaw puzzle is that if you lose 1 piece for some reason, it's over. You can't get a replacement, can you? We don't have that problem with stitching. We'll just stitch over it with a different color, which I do. Let me see, where should I end it? Let me bring it over here. That's a big puzzle indeed. So you're ready. You're ready for Amy Stewart then. Sarah, you're quite right. So puzzle set of those numbers, where do you actually do it? And do you just leave it like there as a web? Because you can't just roll it up like fabric, like what you can with fabric. Ooh, the mind boggles. The mind boggles. Let me see. So the finished piece is 20 feet in length when completed. So what are you planning to do? What are you planning to do once you finish it? Are you going to frame it or just start again from the beginning? Dear, oh dear. So the design is 90 years of Mickey Mouse. Wow. I wonder what that looks like. 90 years of Mickey Mouse. Oh, Travis got a system going on there with puzzle pieces. That requires some organization. So in a way, in comparison, stitching is a lot better, a lot easier, because you can just pack it away, you know, at the end of your session. Just roll things up. You don't need like a small room just to accommodate all the puzzle pieces. Oh, Travis says my goal is to donate it to sick kid hospital. Well, they would probably need a very large wall to hang that on the wall. But that's so nice. Yes, that's very nice. It's nice to have an end goal. And come over here. It's just a little bit random in order. Just how I like to stitch this piece. 3799, 3799, just one stitch. 3799. This organizer for CXC is so big, I can't even lift it off and place it on the fabric because the whole thing will probably crash. It's getting bigger. Just one stitch here. Let me see. Yes, just one stitch. There you go. The stitches are so snuggly, it almost feels like you don't need to do any special finishing. It would just stay there, it's not going anywhere. $3,799. Travis says, have you guys heard that Hade is going to stop selling cross-stitch kits? They're only going to sell patterns. I heard it on Gemma Stitch's channel. Do they sell kits? I didn't even know they did that. I know they're known for patterns, and they sell material packs, but it's not like kit. I suppose you could kind of call it kit. Material pack, but it's just for floss, isn't it? Does it come with fabric as well? And I think they stopped doing that for some reason. Maybe just not enough profit or whatever. Because you do, you know, selling digital products very easy, but to store all the floss and doing the, you know, compilation of a kit probably requires a lot more effort. I don't know whether that's the reason, but I can imagine that it's probably a bit more work. Here. $3,860. $3,860. Whoops. Oh, Nikki, is that why they're selling the cones? So they used to so the cones were for the material packs. Oh, I thought it was a new thing. Clover Stitcher says, I wish I could park. My brain can't handle the hanging threads. It's interesting, isn't it? Yes, I hear that as well. Some people can't park. It's a weird thing because I'm trying to recall the first time I saw people parking. Because up to that point, I didn't even know such thing existed. And I just so happened to get a kit that is fully covered, but it's 14 counts. And I was trying to stitch it the normal way as I would with dimension and stuff like that. And I was going nowhere because there's so many color switches and overlapping. So I started to look up sort of different ways of maybe stitching those type of projects. And then I discovered parking. I remember when I first saw it, I was fascinated. I was mesmerized by how people park at different spots. So I think for me, I knew it was something that I will want to do. I wanted to learn to do that. I was just mesmerized. I was thinking, wow. And it took me some practice before I actually realized, kind of figure out what I was trying to do there. But I loved it from the beginning. So I think it's probably just, people, as you said, people's brain kind of work differently. And for me, it makes perfect sense. I love it. Nikki says, I will park sometimes, but then when I come back, I stitch them all in. Yeah, I kind of switch back and forth sometimes within the same piece as well, because sometimes you feel like parking, sometimes not. But a lot of times I try to stick with a certain way of stitching with some pieces, and some pieces I just switch around a lot. I don't know how that works, but I just do kind of what makes sense and what I enjoy at that time. But yeah, I go back and forth as well. Sarah says, I do the same too. That's interesting. It's a love-hate relationship. Yeah, sometimes parking just feels like hassle, but if I don't park, if I work on projects that cross country for a little while, I start to miss all the threads dangling everywhere. Probably a nightmare for some people, but maybe it's my secret desire to be a hairdresser. No, it's not true. I don't. But yeah, I always feel like a hairdresser when I park. I have to manage all the threads. And I think if you go to Heaven and Earth Design, there is a update kind of on top of the menu bar there. It does say they stopped doing material packs there. Maybe just too much work, because you have to keep all the material there. You need to have someone to assemble the kits and ship and everything. Whereas just selling patterns is so much easier. Travis says, I was parking, but I ended up having 200-ish threads parked. With the way I was stitching, they were getting knotted up. 200-ish. Yes, I think there are ways to minimize the number. I mean, obviously this piece, I'm having part threads everywhere. I don't know how many I've got parked. Quite a few. But you can keep them in order in some way. Some people do the diagonal, block by block. I do that sometimes. But this one, I'm kind of just improvising. So I'm going from here. I got this correctly. Oh no, not this one. So parking is not for everyone. Okay. Travis says, if I had started from the top left, it probably would have been fine, but I started in the bottom left. Oh. Oh yeah, I think your current piece, is it from bottom going up? Yes, that's an interesting choice. I don't think I ever stitch a piece that I go from the bottom. I'm trying to recall. Because there's some of my projects I start from the center. So eventually I'll probably need to go from bottom up somehow if I go about a page. So I'll have to think about how I would tackle that. But for my brain, sort of, just instinctively, I want to go from top to bottom, left to right. So diagonal way of stitching is kind of my default go-to. But I like challenges, might give the bottom up a try. Just one stitch with this one here. Quite confetti with this area. So I might do this stitch and then move on to a different location for a little bit of a reset. There you go. And maybe I want to go to the bottom left a little bit more and work on this bit. It's not too confetti with this area. So pretty though. Brandy says, Travis, sometimes I think we need to stitch these large projects to help us discover how we like to stitch. We have time on those to discover our stitchy identity. Yeah, I think it's just through trying out different ways of stitching and different types of projects, and eventually you kind of come to some idea of what kind of stitcher you are. It doesn't mean you won't change. I think we evolve, right? If you ask me, would you ever do 28 counts about 6 months ago, I'd probably say, nah, 25 is as far as I go. But you never know, because you watch other people stitching and you go, whoa, that looks absolutely fascinating. Maybe I can do that too. And you try it. Maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't. But then you know what works and what doesn't. Travis says I wanted to do the Pokemon and their Pokédex order, but I can't. But I'm regretting. What was the Pokédex? Sorry, I'm not well versed in the Pokemon world. Oh, you mean like a index in order? But the design, it depends on the design, isn't it? Whether it's kind of order in that way. That's very interesting. But I remember that app, that game, the mobile Pokemon game. It was just so insane. I remember everywhere I went, there were people kind of trying to catch Pokemon, particularly in the park nearby. You just see people kind of wandering around, not even look at where they were going, because they're looking at their phone, trying to catch Pokemon and trying to have tournaments with, I have to admit, I played a little bit as well, because everybody did. But then, what happened to the game, I wonder? Kind of all stopped. Gray says I've started out with 20 or 22 counts, and since watching your videos and what everybody's stitching has opened my eyes to want to do try 24 counts again. 24 counts! So I haven't heard about 24 counts that much. I didn't know it was a thing. But it makes sense because we go from 18, 20, and then 22, and suddenly it's 25. It's an odd number. So it just sounds a little bit random. Because most stitch counts, they're even numbers, aren't they? So it's a mystery. I think someone trying to explain that to me once, but I just can't get my head around. But then we have 11 counts as well. That's an odd number. It's so pretty. It's like little beads. Love it. Pretty, pretty, pretty. Oh, Travis say, maybe I think is referring to the game. It is still going strong. Tia and I both go for walks, catching Pokemon. Really? Wow, the game's been around since, I'm trying to think, 2017-ish. I still remember that summer was crazy. It's like people are not really watching where they're going at all. And you always know that someone's playing that game because they just look like they're sort of wandering around like a lost soul. Probably including me as well at one point. That was so funny. And it's still going strong, I see. So 25 counts, okay. But I think 24 counts exists as well, no? One more here. That one as well. Let me double check the color. 150. So I don't think it's part in the correct location. 150, yes. We just part incorrectly. 1, 2. Okay. Brandy says, I know there's a 27 count Linda fabric. It's an even weave, I think. I have used it before. Interesting. 27. It's all a bit random, isn't it? Let me see. I'm going to do a yogi move here in order to get to this little stitch there, just one stitch. But I don't want to take it cross over the stitch area. So I performed a yogi move right there and then take it back down. I perform the technique safely. There. Sarah says, oh, the good old days when we stitch on whatever was in the kit. True. True. Well, to be honest, before I discovered Heaven and Earth, I didn't even know you could kit up patterns yourself. I didn't know you could just buy patterns. That's how little I knew about this world. For me, cross-stitching was buying a kit and then just stitch that. So my mind was blown when I discovered this brave new world. Grace says, I started the winter reading nook about on 20 count, and I'm worried it might be too big. I've been debating on whether I should start all over again on smaller count. 20 counts full cross, I presume. Yes, if you're doing regular size, yes, it would be big. It will be biggish. I think that goes with all the regular sizes with Heaven and Earth. But I'm doing the Valentine nook on 14 counts, but it's a mini. So, but I think it's still going to come out quite big. have a sip of my tea. This is so nice to stitch. It's not too confetti, and the colors are so pretty. Three, 8, 3, 4. 3, 8, 3, 4. And Nikki, let me know if you're still in the chat. I just wanted to ask you, you know that piece we both have from Kim Jacobs, the quoting room piece? I'm just thinking whether you would be interested in maybe starting together at some point, because I was looking at the pattern today and I really want to stitch it. I think I'm ready for that piece, because that pattern I bought, if you don't know which one, let me see if we've got the markup here. Maybe not on my screen just yet, but I can show you from my pattern keeper. I've been looking at this pattern today. I'm just thinking, oh, I'd love to stitch it. Let me have a look. So this is the one. Let me bring it out slightly. I was looking at this piece. Look at this. Oh, so good. What do you think, Nikki? Should we do the thing? Yeah? Nikki says, yes, absolutely. Let's start it together. Tell me when. I need to get a fabric and I need to figure out which fabric count I want to go for. Which one would you do it in? Oh, so pretty. Look at this. A little kitty here. And all the details here. And the sewing machine, my God. What would you do it in? Fabric count wise and stitch wise. It is, isn't it, Brandy? It's so pretty. And a lot of Kim's work comes with a built-in frame. So that's another thing we have to conquer. But I'm even thinking about middle start with this. Just thinking about starting with this piece of clothing, class here, blanket or whatever it is, quote. Oh my God, and I'll be able to get to the kitty a little bit closer. Oh my God, I've got a plan in my head in terms of how I might want to tackle this piece. I want to do it differently. It is beautiful, isn't it? Anyone wants to join in, you're welcome to do so. This piece is called, let me see. It's called, just give you the proper name so you can find it if you do want to join us. It's called Quoting Room and it's a Max Colors. Oh, the Brave New World. And it's by Kim Jacobs. So have a look. If you'd like to join us, then you're welcome to. But Nikki and I both have the pattern already. Yeah, the more I look at it, the more it's kind of speaking to me. So see, my God, don't tempt me. You know what? Just watching the way you're stitching, I don't know if I want to do one color at a time, but you know, like the way you did, you're doing your studio. I want to have a go. I want to have a go at that. Nikki says, I don't know how, well, I have to see how big. I have 25 and 28 ungridded, kind of like your DMC ones you use. Yes, I think 28 would be so nice to stitch with this. I don't know if I will venture into 2032 just yet. And Joyce is talking in code now, and I don't know what that means. Either she's terrified or she wants to join in. What do you think, guys? Joyce is talking in emoji now. She's lost the ability of speech. She's speechless. She's speechless. Joyce, maybe you can add another drawer, you think? You've only got 2 drawers. Oh my God. Oh, Grace have the pattern in regular. You can join in too. Absolutely. Yes. We have to decode the emoji. I don't know what that means. She's in hiding right now. Oh, she's sleeping. Is she? No, I think she's covering her face in fear. You know you wanna. Oh, you always know when you're ready for a piece, when they're kind of just calling you and trying to get you to look at it, look at a mock-up. Yes, yes. Where am I with this one? Yes, any volunteers, any brave people watching, raise your hands if you want to join in. If you're not sure, I'll talk you into it. Give me a chance. That one would be so much fun, wouldn't it? I think in my mind, I have a game plan already. I just need to decide what fabric count. But Grace is joining in, right? Grace, you've got regular pattern. You don't have to do max colors. Brandy, you know you wanna. You know you wanna. Whoa, just final push here from me. Go get a pattern, yay. Grace, yes, Grace is in, yes. Brandy, you know you wanna. 4 is a better number than 3, you know? We have 4, 3 musketeers. We can make it 4. Oh, Steve. Steve says, I really like that pot belly stove. I know. Imagine stitching it. Let me show you the pattern one more time. Oh, just in case you hadn't looked at it carefully. Let's have another look. Look at this. Whoa. Look, that's what Steve was talking about, right? And this little kitty there and the quilt that's going on here. I mean, even these flowers, they're just so pretty, just so pretty. Oh my goodness. My goodness, and this sewing machine as well. Brandy, yes. Go for it, go for it. And get a max colors, how's that? If you haven't got a pattern already. Because there's so much details. I think this pattern will really be benefited with matte colors. It's so subtle and delicate. Oh, just thinking about the color transitions here. Oh, goodness. Yes, Steve, my cat Dolly's just like this. We have to, we have to do this. We have to do this. This is just like Dolly. Man. Susan. Susan. Yeah, intervention from Susan. Steve, you haven't. I think you need another piece to counteract your current one. And to be honest, if the castle piece is the star you like, you will like this piece because it's very subtle, very sophisticated, and full of details, right? Oh, man. So beautiful. Brandy says, I've never done a max color. All the reason you need to get one. Yes, experience it together with us. Yes. It is, Grace. Oh, Grace says, now I now have one for each day of the week. Perfect. Perfect. So you have a lovely rotation going there. Steve. I know, it's such a beautiful piece. You know you wanna come join the ride. It will be fun. And we'll have one more piece to add in to the Kim Sao Day. Sarah says I'm not looking. Sarah. You can cover your eyes, but you've already seen it. It's in your head. You know how pretty it is. Steve says, how many stitches is it? Let's have a look. It's a regular size, but it's more in a square shape. So it's slightly unusual for heaven and earth because a lot of times, let me bring it up, because let's see, it's overall 1, 2, 3, 4, 184,000. 184,000, but it's in a square shape. So, you know, just to show you one more time, if you're not sure, let's look at it one more time. You see, it's pretty much square. So a lot of times it's like more a landscape, right? This is a square. And look, think about how beautiful it is being framed. It's already got a built-in frame already, but it's just so gorgeous. Yes. Oh, such a warm piece. Susan says, would it be the stove or the cast start? Cast start. I love that. I've got a tuxedo cat as well. Yes, Brandy. There's a version. So Brandy says they have one. There's a quote border instead of the blue. Yes, I looked into that piece as well. I think the border is really interesting to stitch. It's really pretty, but I think it makes the whole piece look very crowded because if you think about the design itself is so delicate, so much going on, and that quilt border is just, it looks too busy for me. Maybe some people like that, but I think the quilt border alone is quite interesting. Yes, I did see that. So that's a choice as well, if you like it. But I prefer the pale blue border. This is so pretty. Steve says that's twice the stitches of the castle. So twice the fun, twice the joy. And Travis says, how would you calculate the number of stitches in the piece? I don't have pattern keeper to tell me. Yes, I don't know. You can do a math because you can just go from, not that math is my forte whatsoever, but normally you have the stitch count horizontally and vertically. So you should be able to calculate how many stitches that you've got there by those numbers. True, Grace. Well done, Grace. I'm so proud of you enabling each other. I've trained you well. I love it. Nikki. Nikki says, Steve, sometimes you need a break from the castle piece, you know? And this piece just as delicate and beautiful. So Sarah says, number of stitches wide multiplied by stitches high. Yeah, that's the way you get the number. Steve says I'll probably eliminate the border somehow. I suppose that's one choice. That's one choice. You could do that. But border is, you know, part of the challenge of Kim's pieces. Randy says, I agree. The more I look at it, more busy it looks. The blue makes it very calming. Yeah, it looks like a completely different piece. I think the border is just too busy. I think if it's just the borders on their own, they look quite interesting. But it is because the center part has got so much going on, and it's very calming as well. The borders just seem out of place for me. Steve says so many devils here. Where's my angel? We're angels. We are the angels, Steve. You know it. We're trying to improve your life, to make it even better. You've got something to distract from your yard work, right? And all the weeding you have to do. Nikki says, never heard of Kim before. Now I have 4 pieces. Yeah, you've got studio and you've got, what else have you got? Oh, yes. You've got the quilt room. What else have you got, Nikki? Do you have the dry flower? You have the dry flowers as well, do you? Brandy says, I seriously want to live in a house that Kim has designed in a cross-stitch pattern. Exactly. They're all dream rooms and so cozy and full of fabrics, sewing machines, flowers, and cats. Oh my goodness. Oh, so Travis has done a calculation. 47,000. No, 1, 2, 3, 4,000. Yeah, 477,000. My number is just a lost cause for me. Yes, that's quite a lot. That's quite a lot. Susan, this group is opposite to AA. No, this is therapy. This is therapy. We're trying to heal people through giving them more things to stitch whenever they want. It's like food because they equate sort of projects as relationship. They use terms like monogamous, etc. But no, these projects are like food. We switch different flavors and try different things, and they're all delicious. You know, you don't want to eat the same food every day, do you? It wouldn't make any sense. And there are pieces that are more exotic and some pieces more grounding. Oh my goodness. Yes. So different days, different dishes, different food. Steve says, I'm more of a finish-driven crafter, though. Yeah, you can finish it. You can start it and then you finish it. No problem. Nikki says, but if you don't start, you can't finish. Good point, good point. Nikki, I'm so proud of you. Yes. How do you finish something if you don't start it? Steve, answer that. The more starts you have, the more you get to finish. That makes perfect sense. Nikki says, dry flowers and a sewing one. Oh, both mini. You've got a sewing room as well. Nice. Yes, the sewing room is really pretty as well. Oh, they're all so pretty. And now I'm going to move over here to do these ones. Some of this burgundy goodness there. Gray says, I have 3. Dry flowers, the quilt room, and my studio. Lovely. Great choices. So you've got all the pieces that Nikki has as well. Are they in regular sizes or minis? 3858, 3858. Nikki's trying to get everybody to do extreme cross country. I need to ECC that because I'm trying to recall Travis' piece there. I think he's kind of easing away from the edges. I don't recall the cross country bit. Do you cross country or you just kind of pick a location and just stitch that color? I think that's what you tend to do with maybe stamped projects, because you just follow the symbol. I suppose, yeah. So maybe it's a form of cross country. You just follow the symbols, don't you? A pin starch. It's not going to be pretty, but it works. Put there. Gray says, at least we're not drinking. Nikki asked, Yogi, do you have any stamps? No, I haven't. I'm fascinated by it. Do you? Because I'm seeing people doing it. But I haven't tried it myself. Probably just haven't come across any patterns that kind of grabs me. But they look fascinating because the patterns just look random until you stitch it. And it sounds quite fun to do. So Travis is doing completion one row from left to right, but I continue to thread as far as I can take it. Ah, so it sounds a little bit typewriting, isn't it? So you're doing one row, maybe not following the symbol as such, but you doing one row from left to right, and then if you have the thread left, you just keep going. So you go cross country, or in a way kind of filled and frolicking, but by row rather than by a block. Interesting. Oh, time flies. We're here for 3 hours. It doesn't feel like it. It's scary. It's magical. So let me see. I might come over here and do this color here. 902. 902. I'd like to do one that's got more stitches involved. Yes, please post the picture in a group. Nikki says, I do have some stamped, but not really drawn to them at the moment. Yes, my worry is, the only worry I have with stamped ones, because a lot of times when I look at the mock-ups, they're not really mock-ups. A lot of them they're more like illustrations, kind of artist's impression of what, the end product would be. So I'm slightly worried about the finished product, whether they look anything like the illustration. And on top of that, I haven't really found any patterns I've seen so far that I like. I think that will be a good starting point. If I'm drawn to something I like, then perhaps I'll probably look into it a little bit more. But I think it's more of the whether there's going to be some sort of a discrepancy between the so-called mock-up and the finished piece. We just never know. Because normally if you go to Heaven and Earth design and look at the mock-ups, they're generated by actual stitches, right? So you can get some idea. Normally they give you the mock-up for mini, the mock-up for max or super size, whatever. So you get some idea. They're actual stitches. But when you get an illustration, you just don't know. Oh, lovely, Travis. Hang on. We can have a look, actually. Why don't we? Let me see. Let me just make sure I know where I am. We can switch to the browser quickly and have a look at what Travis has just posted. I'm curious to know because stamp projects, they work very differently, don't they? Oh, I see. Hang on. Let me switch this to the browser there. Have a look. Okay. So yes, if it's cross country, but you are quite consistent about creating a kind of stitch area, so you're not leaving a lot of ninja stitches like holes, boxed in stitches around the stitch area. It's kind of a little bit like typewriting, but not following the typewriter rule necessarily, if that makes sense. Because a lot of times when you do mini cross countries, you just leave a lot of holes around the main area. Yeah, that's a nice way of working. So you don't have to go back and try to fill in those loose stitches. I hate that. I don't enjoy that. Very cool. Very cool. Thank you for sharing. Oh, what is that then? Oh, it's posted before. Facebook is a little bit random in what they show there. Yeah, that's interesting. So I suppose is, you probably just do that instinctively without thinking necessarily what method that you do, which is interesting. We all have that default, way of working. So this color, I think, is going to be the last one today. I can't believe we're here for 3 hours. It just doesn't feel like it. Just does not feel like it. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3 here. Beautiful. I've got a few more stitches to go. And then I'll reveal my big number here. You'll all be shocked by the total stitch count that I have completed today. So fasten your seatbelt, wear your helmet. So Nikki and Grace as well. Steve, you can sleep over it. So Nikki and Grace, I will have a think about what fabric count I'm going to do it on in terms of the quilting room. And then we will come back and discuss maybe tomorrow, because I need to make up my mind before I order the fabric. So I don't want to, kind of change my mind halfway. And then once that's done, I'll get my fabric and maybe we can start next week on the sew, Kim sew, together. Let me know if that works for you as well. I think next week is quite realistic. Not this coming Wednesday. I probably won't be able to get the fabric ready by then. But the following week. Got 4 more here. Grace, thumbs up. Lovely. Do you know what fabric count you're going to do it on, Grace? Have you got some idea already? Nikki says thumbs up. Yes. Very nice. I think Joyce was just too frightened and she passed out upon hearing another news start. And the stitch will be my last one today, as it's now past midnight in the UK. And let me park in the block below here. And I'll give you a summary on what I've done today. Oh, Grace, 22 counts, lovely. Full cross, I trust, or half stitches. It's nice to know. Great. Let's have a look on what we've done today. What a lovely piece to work in. Look at this. Something is emerging here. Oh, I can't wait. So today, after about a month, shocking, since the last session working on this piece, I have added some more details around here and around the cushion as well. As you see, this one is peeking out as well, and I cannot wait to work it downwards and come to the actual room itself. Now I'm working on the shelf here. I think below is kind of the shelf. Let's have a look at the markup here. Yes, I'm on the upper left there. So there's a coat hanger. Oh, and a bird. So I'm at the tip of the coat hanger there. And if I move down, following that direction, I'm going to be stitching a bird of some kind. Do you think that's a parrot? And oh, let's switch back here. So that's the top of the coat hanger there. And then the bird will be somewhere here. I cannot wait. And I also want to continue with the cushion, but the cushions are more confetti involved. So I'm kind of dipping in and out of the area so I don't get overwhelmed. So that's kind of my strategy with this piece. But this is so nice and velvety to stitch, and I love the 4 stitches on 22. If you haven't tried, give it a go. But you do need to have some plan. You can't start going, you know, cross country. It might not work because then your needles are going to get quite tight in between if you need to stitches being boxed in. So this is my strategy. It's worked well so far. And now I'm going to show you my stitch count here. On the edge of my seat, Sarah. Yes. Now, with a stitch count, let me bring it down here so you can see. Okay. Ooh, hello. So, oh, I've crossed 3.08. I've crossed 3%. Hurrah! It's always a milestone when you cross over, and it's a budgie. Okay, well, I'm not the animal expert, as you probably figured out. And now the stitch count. Drum rolls, everyone. And stitch. Sit down tightly. Fasten your seatbelt. The grand total of today's stitch count is 122. Yay! Round of applause. Pizzas for me. Yes, 122. It's quite confetti in some areas, okay? No excuses. And yes, and it's been really fun stitching it. It feels so good. And so this is my achievement completion today. I hope you enjoyed the session, whatever you're stitching on. Thank you, Nikki, for the round of applause. 122, yay! And I really enjoyed it. I should work on this piece more. It's so rich and wonderful. And thank you, Steve. Gold medal here. And so I hope you enjoyed your session too. And this is such a nice, refreshing rest from the marathon yesterday, and to stitch something that's totally different. And I hope wherever you are, morning, afternoon, evening, you enjoy the rest of the day. And if you're heading to bed, nighty night. And I'm heading to bed as well. I'm gonna take a few sips of my tea and going to bed and have a nice rest here. Thank you, Sarah. And from here, we're 13 minutes past midnight in a sleepy town called London. And Yogi signing out. Thank you, Grace. Nighty night to everyone watching. And I'll see you in the next session. Nighty night. Night night.